Good evening. My name is Matt. Welcome. A nighttime yoga practice can be really beneficial to help dissolve tension from our day, leaving us relaxed and calm in our mind and our body, setting us up for a really great night's sleep. I've got a couple of things to help us out. A couple blocks, a blanket, and a bolster. Grab whatever you can from around your home, pillows, blankets, whatever you got, and we'll start practicing. What I'd like to focus our attention on is our breath and the sensations of our body. We'll start on all fours, hands and knees. Take a moment to tune into your breathing, the sound of ujjayi. Inhale slowly. And exhale slowly through the nose. The sound of ujjayi is a gentle whisper, almost like snoring, but with more of a gentle constriction of the throat, not so harsh like snoring would be. Once you can hear your breath and you can feel your breath, start moving the body. Inhale, arch the spine. And exhale, round the spine. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale. Inhale, arch. A child's pose on the exhale, hips back to the heels. Forward again, inhale, all fours, arch and look up, tuck the toes. And exhale, child's pose. Inhale, forward, all fours, arch. Exhale, back, child's pose. Inhale, forward, arch, and look up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, forward, arch, and look up. With the toes tucked, lead with the back of the pelvis up to the sky in a downward facing dog. First downward dog, it's nice to take your feet wide and bend the knees, move the hips a little side to side. Shaking up the body a little bit, creating some movement to allow the heat to build, and the heat is what allows us to dissolve the tension. So before we get into our calming and relaxing practice, we'll build a little heat. Forward to plank pose. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. All fours, inhale, arch the spine, look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Two more the same way. Plank pose, inhale, roll your body forward. Knees down, exhale, child's pose. Inhale, all fours, arch and look up. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more, inhale, forward, plank pose. Exhale, knees down, child's pose. Inhale, forward, arch the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take the right leg to the sky on the in-breath. Bending the knee, open hip. Inhale, straighten the leg, square the hip, and step the right foot forward as you exhale. Place the right hand on the thigh. Turn the chest, creating a gentle twist. You can keep the hand to the knee. If you like, you can reach your hand up to the sky. Two more breaths. One more breath. Exhale, release hands to the ground. Step into plank, inhale. Place the knees down, child's pose as you exhale. Forward to all fours, inhale, arch the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg up to the sky, inhale. Bend the knee, open the hip on the exhale. Inhale, straighten the leg, square the hip. And step the left foot forward, exhale. Place the left hand on the thigh. Turn the belly, turn the chest. Option to take the hand up to the sky or keep it on the knee. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And this last inhalation, if your hand is on the knee, just reach up for one big breath in and release the hand down. Step to plank pose, inhale. And exhale, child's pose. Come to all fours, inhale, arch the spine. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Walk the feet to the front of your yoga mat. Soften the knees, keep the feet wide. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, bow, resting your chest on your thighs. Again, inhale, halfway lift, arch the spine. And exhale, bow. One more, inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, bow. Place your hands on your outer shins, elbows out. Push inward with your hands like a brace. Push the back of your heels out so you feel the hamstrings move apart from each other. And see if you can feel the outer hip muscles activating as a result. Keeping the outer hips active, start to straighten the legs by pressing the back of the sit bones up to the sky. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Place the hands now on the knees, bend the knees, lift the chest up, inhale. Exhale, stand up, hands to heart. Into chair pose again, bend the knees, hands on the thighs. And we'll pause here for a moment. Move the hips back in space, so the knees move back over the heels. Same idea that you just did in Uttanasana. Push the back of your legs apart, feeling the outer hips engage. Lift the belly, lift the chest. And if you like, you can reach the arms up to the sky or keep them on the thighs. We'll hold for 2 more breaths. One more breath. On this exhale, we'll bow forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step the right foot back so the left foot is forward. We'll plant the back heel onto the ground and take the left forearm on the thigh, coming up to Parsva Konasana preparation. Take a moment to settle into your breath and feel it move through your body. Soften the eyes, soften the face. Let's gather a little strength in the legs to prepare the body for stretching. Pull your feet toward each other, and as a result, feel the strength of your legs rise up into the pelvis. Press down through the left heel to start to turn the belly, turn the chest. If it feels all right, you want to take the right hand up to the sky, you're welcome to. 2 more breaths. One more breath. On this exhale, right hand comes to the ground, pivot the back heel up. Step forward on the inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Press the backs of your legs apart. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana, and notice the difference between your right and your left side. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Step the left foot back as you exhale. Again, now we plant the left heel down, heel toe the front foot a little to the midline to bisect the back arch. Place the right forearm on the thigh, left hand on the hip. Parsva Konasana preparation. Again, take a breath, observe how you feel. Soften the outer layer, your skin, your eyes, but gain strength on the inside. So pull your feet toward each other gently. Press the front heel down to start to turn the pelvis and turn the navel. Turn the chest, maybe even the gaze. And there's the option here to reach the left hand up to the sky. We'll go with 2 more breaths. One more, inhale, lift up. And exhale, release down. Pivot the back heel up on the inhale, step forward. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the right foot back, exhale, and plant the back heel down. This time, walk your hands to the inside of your left foot. This is a great time, if you like, to use blocks for support. You can stay up a little bit higher. If the blocks are not necessary and you prefer without them, you can use fingertips, bend the elbows, and bow inward. If at all possible, you can allow the back of the neck to release by drawing the chin slightly into chest and looking at the navel. But with that surrender of the upper body, let it rest upon the stability of the lower body. So pull your feet gently toward each other so you feel a contraction in the legs. Press your front heel down so you feel some strength in the buttocks. And upon that strength, let everything relax. Surrender the upper body. We'll do one more breath. And walk the hands back to the top of your yoga mat, pivoting the back heel up. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, bow forward and feel, notice the left side, right side, becoming awake, more awake to the sensations of the body. Inhale, halfway lift. Step the opposite foot back, the left foot now. Plant the heel down. Adjust the feet so that the front heel bisects back arch. And walk the hands over to the inside of your legs. If you'd like, you have the option to use the blocks. Take an inhale, lift the chest just a bit. And exhale, bend the elbows, bow inward. Now with this, you can activate the energy of your legs so that your upper body has more ability to surrender and soften. So what I do is I pull my feet gently toward each other. That activates the back inner thigh, the front hamstrings. And I press my front heel down to activate the buttocks. With that strength of the legs, then total surrender if possible. You just let the back of the neck go. Maybe you say yes and no with the head so you can release any tension there. We'll do 2 more breaths. One more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk the hands to the center, to the front, and step forward. Inhale, half lift again, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, bow. Now let's start back in that same pose we were in earlier, placing the hands to the outer shins. Push inward with your hands to create the brace. Soften the knees slightly. Press the back of your hamstrings and heels and calves apart. And as you press the backs of your legs apart into your hands resist. Start to lean towards your big toes and lift the sit bones, lift the back of your pelvis up to the sky. Then try to keep that in the legs, but place the fingertips to the ground out in front. Lean your weight forward into your fingers, round the upper back by looking towards your navel. This rounded position, the flexed position of the spine, is calming to the nervous system. Allows us to relax the energy that resides inside of us from our day, creating a sense of calm in the body. While in the pose, it can be still energizing, and there might be a flow of heat through you. When we release the pose, there's a calming effect. We'll do one more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. And step the left foot back. And now is a good time, if you have a blanket, place it underneath the back knee. And place the knee onto the ground. Heel toe the right foot a little to the right. And if you have blocks or the bolster, I'm going to choose blocks, but you can place your elbows down onto a bolster or blocks. To relax the nervous system, you can flex the spine by gently looking towards the navel and rounding the upper back. If you want a little more range of motion in the hips, you can try to stick the back of the sit bones up to the sky and arch the low back. That will increase the stretch. We'll do 2 more breaths here. On the inhale, come on up. And take the blocks and place them off to the side. Place the blanket off to the side. We'll inhale, step forward, halfway lift. And exhale, step the opposite leg back, placing the blanket down for your other knee. Bringing the blocks or the bolster to the other side. Take a breath in. And place the elbows onto your blocks or your bolster. Again, if you want to gain a little bit more flexibility, you can lift the hips up in the back to arch the low back. But then to relax and calm the nervous system, we're going to round the upper spine, look towards the navel, and see if the back of the neck can kind of hang loose and release. Trying to keep the mind awake to the vibration of breath through the body, the sensations that you're experiencing. This dissolves any tension in the mind by bringing it into focus and awareness. Do one more breath. Place the hands on the blocks. Now lift up and place the blocks off to the side. If you used a blanket, place that off to the side. We'll step forward on the inhale, half lift. And exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back to downward facing dog. Two more breaths. Take the right leg to the sky on the inhale. And place the right shin across the mat for pigeon pose. And to make this a kind pigeon on the body, you can choose perhaps a blanket or a bolster to place underneath the back hip or the front hip. So I'm going to choose a blanket underneath my front hip and let my body weight sink into that. Try not to fall to the side. Just allow yourself to kind of go straight down into it. If you need to, you can prop yourself up a little taller. For this first variation of pigeon, and we'll do a couple of them, we'll just go straight forward, placing the elbows in front. Take a breath in, and then see if you can round your upper back, look towards the navel, and lengthen the back of the skull, the back of the neck. Two more breaths. Inhale, come on up. And step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. And right back, exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, inhale. And place the left shin across the mat. Again, you have the option to place the blanket or bolster underneath your hips. And again, try not to lean to one side, but to go straight down and maybe slightly back as you go down. Place the forearms out in front. Enjoy a breath in. And on the exhale, round the upper back. Draw the chin gently towards the chest. Looking towards the navel, maybe closing the eyes. We'll do one more breath. And come on up. Step back, downward dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Right leg again, inhale, reach up. And place the right shin across the mat. Option to keep the blanket and place it underneath your hip. And for this variation, we'll just take our elbows and our body off on a diagonal towards the foot, the front foot. And this way is going to put a little more weight to the left side, which is going to give a bit of a deeper stretch for the right hip. Again, you can bow in and focus on the sensations you're experiencing and the breath itself moving through your body. You can also begin to round the spine a little bit more, look towards your navel slightly. Again, this allows for a relaxation of the nervous system when we flex the spine. walk the hands back. Step into downward facing dog. Forward plank pose, inhale. Back to downward dog, exhale. Left leg up. Shin across the mat, pigeon pose. Placing the blanket underneath the hip if you like. And then the elbows off to the side. So I'm shifting my weight towards my elbows so that my hips turn down towards the ground, giving a little bit deeper of a stretch for the front hip. Trying to round the spine, softening the back of my neck. And breathe into the sensations you're experiencing. One of the most relaxing things for the mind is to be completely present. Anxiety and anger, frustration, all of the challenges we face during the day with our emotional swings happen quite often when we're not present. And as you become awake from your breath and from your focus, the mind can settle, it can soften simply by feeling the body, feeling the breath, feeling alive. We'll hold for one more breath. And walk the hands back. Remove your blanket and come to downward dog. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Let's place the knees onto the ground and bring the toes to touch and grab your bolster or your blankets. Place it right in the center of your thighs so you can rest right on top of it and you can turn your head to one direction. A complete surrender. Support yourself enough with your bolsters and blankets so that you can enjoy this moment to completely relax and settle your bones. No need to hold yourself up. The ground and the support underneath you will hold you. And as your body starts to melt into the bolster, give your mind something to focus on, like your breath or the sensations of your body. And you can switch your head to the other side. And if the mind has wandered, simply drift back to presence, observing your breath, observing how you feel. Bring your attention back to your breath. If the eyes are closed, gently open them. Come up off your bolster. And take your bolster off to the side. Crawl your way forward to lie onto your back. And shift your hips to the right side of your yoga mat. Shifting onto your left hip to bring the right knee across. This is a great time to place a bolster underneath your right thigh. As you let your right shoulder settle towards the ground. There's a gentle activation that I like to do. It's just to arch the low back, making this twist feel a little bit more freeing. Two more breaths. Come back to center. Shift the hips to the opposite side of the yoga mat. Pause. And straighten the right leg. Take your bolster with you onto the other side. Place your knee onto the bolster. Arch the low back and open up into your twist. Letting your breath move through the body. Feeling how it feels to be alive. There's subtle energy pulsing inside. And you can settle into that. And slowly come on out. Shift your hips to the center. And hold the knees, give a little squeeze. Move your bolster or your pillows so that your knees can rest right up over top. Situate your pelvis in a way that feels comfortable. And we'll take our Savasana in a rested position with the knees bent and a light angle at the pelvis that allows for a softness in the hip flexors. And that softness in the hip flexors brings about a relaxation to the nervous system as well. When the psoas relaxes, the fight or flight relaxes, the mind can calm and settle. So what you can keep your mind attuned to is the sensation of your pelvis dropping down into the earth, becoming heavy, and the thigh bones dropping down into the earth, becoming heavy. Relaxing all the muscles that surround the thighs and the hips, and all the muscles inside the pelvis and the pelvic floor. Put your mind into your bones and let your bones become heavy. You are safe in your body. You have your breath. You have your body. Bring your awareness back to your breathing. Notice your body is breathing on its own. And it's moving because of the breath. And just enhance the breath by letting it be deeper and longer. And as you're ready, you can awaken the fingers and the toes. And stretch the arms overhead. Bend the knees. Roll to your right side. And let your body become heavy for a moment here. Feel your bones settle. And as you're ready, come up to a seated position. Place the palms together in front of the heart. Letting the heart bow, the head bow, the body bows inward. Thank you for practicing this evening. Have a good night's sleep. Namaste.